Hello Indie fans, it's no secret that I'm a fan of Metroidvania titles, so here's a look at the year in Metroidvanias. Unfortunately for us, not too many new releases in this space, but I do think that I have a nice mix of bigger games and hidden gems, but do stick around for more information on that one particular upcoming game. We kicked off the year with Bookbound Brigade, a neat, smaller title, which is currently sitting at mixed reviews, although I personally thought that it was pretty cool. This has you traversing through literary and historical books, with characters ranging from King Arthur, Robin Hood, Da Vinci, Joan of Arc, Dracula, and more. The unique gimmick here is that you control the entire group of characters at the same time, which can be arranged in different formations to suit the platforming challenges or the level geometry, which I think is very neat. I do like the variety in the biomes as well, with some art that's pleasant, so not too bad a start. The next title of interest has to be KUNAI, a pastel-y parkour exploration title set in a post-apocalyptic world. You play as a tablet ninja who has to fight against a robot uprising caused by a malicious virus. As a ninja, what needs to be experienced is the KUNAI Focus Ninja Rope, which allows you to traverse through the levels at a breakneck speed, with some cool upgrades and even guns at your disposal. Very unique art style and look, and is a hidden gem. Another notable Metroidvania entry in February is MindSeize, a sci-fi entry where a crippled father transfers his consciousness into a robot body to pursue a criminal organization that has seized the mind of his daughter. Of course, me being me, I was attracted by the pixel art, and while it is not as smoothly animated as I would have liked, the power fantasy here is pretty good as you take out one enemy after another. Great look, fun action and interesting worlds to explore makes this of interest. Ori and the Will of the Wisps probably doesn't need any further introduction, since the sequel to 2015's Ori and the Blind Forest makes everything bigger and better. It did make my best not-so-indie games of the year, and came in at quite a high spot since it's one of the most gorgeous games visually, and tightened up the game design as well. Within the opening hours of the game, you have the same tools at your disposal as at the end of Blind Forest, and it was amazing that they managed to expand upon that even more, so a no-brainer title for this list. One of the most interesting entries of the year is Record of Lodoss War-Deedlit in Wonder Labyrinth, a title from the developer of Touhou Luna Nights and is based on a property from the 1990s. For better or worse, this is more or less Symphony of the Night with the RPG mechanics, backstab movement and overall feel, but as always, I do appreciate the pixel art. This, weirdly enough, released in early access, and is currently up to Stage 2 content, with the Stages 3 and 4 update to be sometime in January, but the price will increase after the full launch, so you may want to pick it up first, with it being at 20% off during the Steam Winter Sale. Atto is another gorgeous pixel art entry that perhaps skims the definition of a Metroidvania in some ways, since it does have the challenging boss fights, platforming focused exploration and traversal abilities, where the interesting bit is that there are no regular enemies here. Play as a father on a quest to save his child, with the challenging boss fights to the death being the highlight here. Very neat and very underrated, do give this a try if you have not. Another title in early access is the gorgeous looking Dark Light, a grimdark Souls-like entry which is not to be missed. It's action-packed with a theme and mood that I appreciate, taking place in a cyberpunk post-apocalypse and looking like some sort of mixture between Dead Cells, The Swapper, and Dead Space.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome to the first ever Half Genie Festival! Let's go!
Another no-brainer, Shantae and the 7 Sirens is another entry in this series that is up to the mark, providing all the aspects that you have come to know and love, like the animal transformations of our half-genie heroine.
This island is hiding a secret, and I'm gonna get to the very bottom of it!
There's a new story, new villains, and new bosses, but for the most part, it is what you have come to know and love, so while not super innovative, this is nonetheless a great experience all in all. I liked the 8-bit excellent puzzle Metroidvania title, Alwa's Awakening, back in 2017, having fond memories of it since I did cover it back when the channel was a lot smaller, with its sequel, the 16-bit spectacular Alwa's Legacy, being of interest. Interestingly, most of the spells and abilities are the same, such as the green cube used in puzzles or as an additional platform to get you some extra height, or the floating blue bubble that acts as an ascending platform, but this is all redone with the wonderful new art style. It's non-linear and you're allowed to sequence break, but such a gorgeous looking game that is not to be missed. Another gorgeous title that you might have missed is Phoenotopia Awakening, only releasing on the Switch, with the Steam version expected in early January. Go on a quest to save your family through traversing the land, meeting other townspeople and defeating a great evil. is one of the most gorgeous games of the year, looking very vibrant and colourful, and add to that a ton of systems and mechanics such as fishing, cooking, crafting, equipment and more. Does have its share of secrets and collectibles as well, and is certainly not to be missed. A wonderfully weird, smaller title is SHEEPO, where you're able to collect and shape-shift into the creatures that you find. There's no traditional combat per se, which makes this very interesting, and I'm just a fan of innovative game designs like this. It has a non-linear design as well, encouraging exploration, and that's the same sort of wonder that I especially love in this genre. Yes, it's a smaller game, but for a smaller price, do give this a look. Unsurprisingly, Vigil: The Longest Night made my best indie games of the year list since it's a Souls-like Metroidvania which is totally my jam. It feels like Salt and Sanctuary in many ways due to the RPG mechanics and equipment, creepy art style and enemies, and some of the animations, but if you have exhausted that game and want something new, do give this a go. There's a central story told in a Dark Souls fashion, so mainly through item descriptions and such, but filling in the blanks and finding out what happened is part of the charm. Into the home stretch with Batbarian, Testament of the Primordials, another underrated entry which you should check out. It's very dark visually, being appropriately set in a series of underground caverns and rooms where your magical bat companion does provide the variety in gameplay. There are also choose your own adventure style gameplay choices, and with over 400 plus rooms to explore, plenty of content to get through. Surprise launching during the Indie Live Expo 2, The Witch and the 66 Mushrooms is a mini Metroidvania title that has one of the best looks of the year. Do bear in mind that it's a shorter experience, clocking in at about 6 hours at the most, but I do think that it's still worth your time. And rounding off the notable list is Monster Sanctuary, the monster taming Metroidvania which uses turn-based combat. While it is not as much of a pure Metroidvania in quotes, the creatures do grant you Metroidvania-style exploration abilities that lets you access new areas, so I do think that it counts in my book. Love the monster taming genre myself, and do check out yesterday's video for more upcoming titles, but it does cap off a good year in this genre. If you've made it to this point, thanks for watching. Just overnight, we did get some news about Hollow Knight Silksong, which is that it will be in the December 31st edition of Itch magazine. They did show off a new demo, new screenshots, and sat down for an interview, so I'm very excited about this, now only to find out how to get my hands on a copy. To see more of the big picture, check out these awesome videos, and I will see you after the jump.